r/AskReddit. What stupid joke do you love? If I'm gonna be frank, I'd have to change my name. Why are kleptomaniacs terrible with puns? They're always taking everything, literally. Why do chicken coops only have 2 doors? Because if it had 4 it would be a chicken sedan. What's about a foot long and slippery? A slipper. What's brown and sticky? A stick. A man finds a penguin at his doorstep. His friends tell him to take it to the zoo. Later that day, they see him walking down the street while still carrying the penguin. They ask him, "Weren't you gonna take it to the zoo?" And the man says, "I did, now I'm taking it to the movies." A penguin is driving through the desert when his car starts to overheat. He pulls into a service station to have it looked at. And walks across the street to the grocery store to hang out in the freezer section, gets hungry, and buys a snack. After a while, he goes back to check on his car and says, "Well, how's it look?" The mechanic replies, "It looks like you blew a seal." The penguin wipes his face and says, "Oh, no, that's just a little ice cream." I was walking through a quarry and said to the foreman, "That's a big rock." "Boulder," he replied. So I puffed out my chest and shouted, "Look at that enormous rock over there." Man at funeral, "Do you mind if I say a word?" Widow, "Please do." Man, plethora. Widow, "Thank you, that means a lot." Another man, "Would it be okay if I say a word?" Widow, "Please, go ahead." Another man, "Bargain." Widow, "Thank you. It means a great deal." Third man, "Would it be okay if I say a word?" Widow, "Please, go ahead." Third man, Earth. Widow, "Thank you. It means the world." Man, "Would it be okay if I say a word?" Widow, "Please, go ahead." Man, Omniscient. Widow, "Thank you. That means more than you can know." Another man, "Would it be okay if I say a word?" Widow, "Please, go ahead." Another man, Maximal. Widow, "Thank you. It means the most." Significant other's favorite joke at a restaurant. "Excuse me, do you have reservations?" "Yeah, but we are going to eat here anyway." When life gives you melons, you know you have dyslexia. Dyslexia is very common, affecting 10 out of 2 people. There are 3 kinds of people in this world: those who can count and those who cannot. 2 fish are in a tank. One turns to the other and says, "How do you drive this thing?" 2 muffins are in an oven. One turns to the other and asks, "Is it getting hot in here to you?" The other muffin goes, "Holy hell, it's a talking muffin." Manuel, "Is your car automatic?" "It's manual." "Oh, I'm sorry. Manual, is your car automatic?" American trying to pick up UK chicks in a bar. "Hey, are you girls from England?" "It's Wales." "Oh, I'm sorry. Are you Wales from England?" When I gave my dad his 50th birthday card, he said, "One would have been enough." What's red and bad for your teeth? A brick. What's blue and smells like red paint? Blue paint. What's green and has wheels? Grass. I lied about the wheels. Person A, I took my wife to the Caribbean. Person B, Jamaica? Person A, no, she wanted to go. Look at that group of cows. Herd. Herd of what? Cows. Of course I've heard of cows. No, a cow herd. I don't care if a cow herd, I don't think he's gonna tell anyone. Why are seagulls called seagulls? Because if they flew over bays, they'd be bagels. Why do seals swim in salt water? Because pepper water makes them sneeze. Why do blind people hate skydiving? It scares the hell out of their dogs. Why did the mermaid wear seashells? She got too big for her beshells. What's the name of the French shoe inventor? Philippe Philop. What has anxiety at the bottom of the ocean? A nervous wreck. What's the difference between a poorly dressed man on a unicycle and a well-dressed man on a bicycle? Attire. Why did the Scarecrow win Best Employee? He is outstanding in his field. How do you put an elephant in the refrigerator? You open the door, put the elephant in, and close the door. How do you put a giraffe in the refrigerator? You open the door, take the elephant out, put the giraffe in, and close the door. All the animals in the animal kingdom had a meeting except for one. Which animal wasn't there? The giraffe, because he was in the refrigerator. You need to cross a shallow, but alligator-infested river. How do you do it? Walk across, the alligators are at the meeting. When I'm around my Spanish friends I like to say mucho because I know it means a lot to them. What do you call a broken can opener? A can't opener. What's white and you can't see it? A glass of milk around the corner. Where did Napoleon keep his armies? In his sleeveys. The other day I tested out my joke-telling skills by telling 10 puns to my brother and seeing if any of them would make him laugh. I was disappointed to find that no pun intended. Did you know that an apple pie is $2.50 in Barbados but $3 in the Bahamas? Those are just the pie rates of the Caribbean. I went into a pet shop and asked for 12 bees. The shopkeeper counted out 13 and gave them to me. You've given me one too many. That one is a freebie. A man walks into a restaurant with a fish under his arm. Do you make fish cakes? He asks. Of course, sir. Oh good, it's his birthday. Which side of the chicken has more feathers? The outside. What's orange and sounds like a parrot? A carrot. How does Moses make tea? He brews it. What's the difference between roast beef and pea soup? Anybody can roast beef, but no one can pea soup. Question. What's the difference between a dirty bus stop and a lobster with breast implants? Answer. One's a crusty bus station and then the other is a busty crustacean. What do you call a magician without magic? Ian. Why did the seaman cross the road? Because I wore the wrong socks today. A horse walks into a bar, the bartender say why the long face? The horse, not being able to comprehend human language, craps on the floor then leave. What's the difference between a snowman and a snowwoman? Snowballs. What breed of dog can do magic tricks? The Labracadabrador. My friend was born Christmas Day and her name is Holly. We were talking about what our parents were going to name us and she said my mom wanted to call me Noel but I ended up with 2 instead. Why does Stephen Hawking do one-liners? Because he can't do stand-up. I tried to punch the fog yesterday. Missed. Question, why can't you hear a pterodactyl go to the bathroom? Answer, because they've been extinct for 65 million years. Describe yourself in one word. Bad with numbers. Stepladder? I never knew my real ladder. Did you hear about the fire at the circus? It was intense. An old woman had heard that a milk bath was good for wrinkles so she decided to try it out. She called the milkman and asked for enough milk to fill the tub. Do you want it pasteurized? The milkman asked. The old woman thought for a moment, and then responded no, I think just up to my knees will be fine. Why did the traffic light turn red? You would do if you had to change in front of everyone. Where do you find your dog who has no legs? Right where you left it. Why do divers fall backwards off the boat? Because if they fell forward they'd still be on the boat. How many apples grow on a tree? All of them. How do you get a farm girl to like you? A tractor. I don't know about any of the other advantages to living in Switzerland, but the flag sure is a big plus. Nurse goes to the bank, needs to sign a check. Reaches into her purse and pulls out a rectal thermometer. Panics and screams some a-hole's got my pen. Teacher, okay kids we're gonna go outside and shoot hoops. Kid named Hoops. Screams. Chuck Norris once went to the Virgin Islands. Now, they're just called islands. Why is the dark spelled with a K and not a C? Because you can't see in the dark. What do you call a guy with a rubber toe? Roberto. Why do cows wear bells? Because their horns don't work. What do you call a man with no arms or legs in the ocean? Bub. What do you call a man with no arms or legs hanging on the wall? Art. What do you call a man with no arms or legs lying in front of your door? Matt. What do you call a man with no arms or legs lying in a pile of leaves? Russell. What do you call a man with no arms or legs lying in a hole? Phil. Did you know that a cat can jump higher than a house? It's because houses can't jump. I want to die like Grandpa, peacefully in his sleep. Not like the others screaming and yelling in the back of the car. What do you call a man with no body and no nose? Nobody knows. A tall blonde girl walked by my window. I knew she was tall because I live on the second floor. What's the last thing that went through the moth's head when it hit the windshield? Its butt. Someone just threw a tub of mayo at me. What the hell, man? The next Tesla car won't have a new car smell, it'll have an Elon Musk. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and tell us your own stupid joke and which one was your favorite.